Next slide, please. That's looking out from the top floor of the new building. This is the part of the extension for the athletic area. This is part of the multi-purpose, the lobby before the multi-purpose room. Next slide, please. That is what is going to be the new reception area here. The counter goes in here in this area. The office area is outside here. When I was up there today, they started putting some drywall on those areas since they are on the roof. Next slide, please. That's sprinkler piping. That would be on the first floor in the new area. Next slide, please. These are the water piping to go for the boilers. This is one of the boilers. You can just see the top of it here. These are the water supply and return pipes going in. Next slide, please. Those are the new circulator pumps, hot water circulator pumps for the boilers. Next slide, please. And there's a view of all three boilers. You can see this is the breaching that was just added this past week. These are the three boilers. The only piping that isn't done yet on those is the gas piping. Next slide, please. And that is just a few of the conduits for the new switchgear. The switchgear is going to be sitting in here. These conduits go out, they go under the hallway, and then out into the area near the greenhouse. Next slide, please. That's the outside excavation area. Your transformer will sit here. The new transformer from Med-Ed will sit here. The generator is going to sit in this area, and then there's some exterior switchgear that will sit over here. The door, what is that, Judy? Door 6?
Yes.
Yeah, door 6 is right down here at the bottom of the photo. They just poured concrete inside that door today. I promised Judy it would be dry by tomorrow.
Before 7 a.m.
Or she gets to plant my face in it, so let's hope it's dry. Next slide, please. Okay, that's the seating. This is the new parking lot up here. This is the grass seating in front of it. I see today that we've actually got some grass coming up through that in spite of the dry weather. Next slide, please. Okay. This is what I typically put at the end. We don't have as many pictures here because you can only show so many concrete block walls before people fall asleep. So I think the next presentation you'll start to seeing the interior start to take shape. But that's the artist's rendition of the way the building's going to look. Next slide, please. That's where we were in May. Next slide. That's June. Is it, yeah, June. Next slide, please. And that's 8/7, and that is as of 9/4. You can see the brick is taking place here. The brick goes up to this level here, and then this is an ephes and metal structure that goes on top. That's that blue. That'll be that blue area that you see at the end. And I think that's it. Next slide, please. Yeah, that is it. Do you have any questions or comments or?
I had one. Last meeting you had shared you were waiting on Med-Ed or somebody to do something and they weren't able to get schedules or something, weren't driving. Did that get resolved?
We still don't have a scheduled date for Med-Ed. Right now we're running from the old electrical service. Contractors have done some things to make it possible to run from the old service because the old service is 208 volts, the new service will be 440 volts. So we have dual voltage motors that were in there anyhow that we're going to be using. And we're probably going to have to install one transformer to run the boilers. But we're not, we can't afford to wait for that. If we had, we wouldn't have school right now. Gas company is having the same problem. Both of them were given ample notice. They both said they could do it. They both haven't done it yet. So. And there's various reasons for that. I know Columbia Gas, those of you that drive back and forth to Hanover can see that big new gas station, pressure reducing station that's being put in out there. That's part of the problem. Med-Ed offered early retirement to a lot of people, and many more people As far as getting things in and on, turned on and everything, we're okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have any other questions?
I have one. I didn't know if it was for like.
Oh, you already answered
like,
your one question.
Well, I
I'm
got
just
two.
joking.
I get two. No one else is asking, so I get it right. I was taking some pictures of the tennis game 2 weeks ago, and some of the girls like, hey, were we supposed to get lights out here? And I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about that. So I don't know. It was from what my understanding is, it was 4 courts and lights, or 5 courts no lights. So I told him, I said, I would ask, I'd find
Not
out.
that we play tennis at night.
Not to play that. Honestly, I can't speak to the number of courts because my mind just went blank, but yes,
We
you
have
are getting
4.
lights. There are 4 courts,
Yeah.
yes, there will be lights on the tennis
Okay.
courts.
They're just not up yet.
They're not here yet.
Okay.
So we can play tennis at night?
Yeah.
We can't play tennis.
I think it was more for the
You can't play
boys.
tennis at night yet.
The boys teams, I think, the boys teams, I think, in the spring. So it's
There's
not.
also some lights that they started erecting today to light the practice field there, next to the tennis courts, so.
Yes.
They
Okay.
should be up soon.
Well, thank you. Okay.
You stole my question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, thank you, Gil, I appreciate it.
Thank you, I'll see you next month.
No problem. You're the highlighter of my agenda. Ms. Young, you're on.
As we reach the 3-week mark of our fall sports season, I'm pleased to share some updates on our coaches, our team participation, and upcoming events. Our coaching staff updates. All coaches are now required to be CPR certified, not only for the safety of our athletes, but to be proactive, since this will be a PIAA requirement in the next 1 to 2 years. So we are ahead of the game. I'm also pleased to announce we have 3 new coaches joining our staff. Ben Sparrow, he's the head varsity coach for girls soccer. Danielle Taza is the head varsity coach for volleyball, and Ashley Brown is the head junior high coach for field hockey, which they just won both their games right now. And I am currently serving as the head girls tennis coach with 2 qualified volunteer coaches until a candidate, Ryan Appleton, is approved pending his clearances and paperwork being done in time. But all of the coaching positions have been filled. Participation rate. I am so happy to report participation numbers in the fall season are up for females and have been climbing since 2022. They are up by 8.8%, and actually we just added another female athlete today. Male participation has stayed the same. There was a big jump from 2022 to 2023, but it's kind of leveled out from 23 to 24. But I'm excited just to see the females go up and up and up. I always like to report about band and color guard. Their performance is Jekyll and Hyde this year. Their first competition is September 28th at Eastern York. You can come to the ball game and watch presentation as well. And the upcoming events, we have LIFA night this Friday, September 13th. We have our all-school pep rally, and homecoming is September 20th. And all of our senior events are going to be in October, which I can update. Tennis is October 1st. Field hockey October 7th, volleyball October 10th, boys and girls soccer the same night, October 14th, and football is October 18th. And I'd like to thank you for your continued support of the athletic programs, and looking forward to a successful and exciting season.
Appreciate it. Any questions?
And varsity field hockey won. JV's playing right now. It's an exciting game, 7-5.
How can we have half the reps in the back room?
Oh, you were junior high, weren't you? Yes.
Thank you. You got off easy, no questions. There is Dr. Piazza. You're up.
Hi, so just a little update on some of our numbers in the service department. So this year under special education, we had 33 new students move in with an IEP. But that includes students in the areas of autism, emotional disturbance, a specific learning disability, which is like math and reading and writing, and also OHI, which is other health impairments. So beginning of the year, our psychologists are up and running because if you move in from out of state, we have to reevaluate everybody to make sure they qualify under Pennsylvania standards. Also, all the new preschool students coming in, they have evaluate to make sure they get a school-age IEP, so they qualify also. So starting the year, our psychologists have 20 evaluations to do just to start K-12. So we are busy in our department. Another area, ESL, English as a second language. This year we had 27 students to start off the year, which is a lot for Littlestown. Last year we ended at 19. We have 11 new students in the district enrolled this year, and majority are Spanish, but we also have Vietnamese and Chinese. Another number that I'd like to share with you, which is always a sad number, is we have 6 students that fall under our homeless category. Any questions?
You're gonna ask comment there, and I don't want you to get into detail, but how do students become homeless? I'm just curious.
Well, either they evicted from their residence, or it could be an arrangement with the families, divorce, parents pass away, they die, you know, they go end up living with grandparents, somebody else, foster, there's lots.
Now, technically, hold on a second. Define what makes it a homeless person, just no fixed address?
Correct.
So, okay, so that's
No,
the key
but it
word.
also has to, right, and so the other thing is sometimes, like, I have to, like, we go out and look to see where they live, to see if, like, 'cause some people, it's like 8 people in a house with 1 bedroom, you know, so that could be considered homeless also.
I mean, we're not talking cardboard box and.
Yeah, that's
what
what I was considering. Yeah.
No, but we do, in the past, we have had students secondary level live out of their cars. And those we usually don't know about as much as we should. Yes.
Go ahead, Dwayne, I'm sorry.
No, Carl, you were fine. Do we help them in any way?
We do. We have organizations that we hook up with that offer food and offer clothing, the community aid, you know, we get gift certificates. Our nurses they received a grant to help support families in different ways. They've also paid, some people are at hotels, you know, we had to support them in that way also, so yes.
Good, so we're not, so we are looking after them.
Best we can,
Good.
yes, and then we also give them other resources to go and find help too.
Very good, thank you for that.
Anybody else have any other questions? Carrying on, thank you, Carol. Dr. Mann.
In addition to the day-to-day operations regarding technology, safety, and cyber squad, I just want to highlight a couple of different things that we're working on in each area. From a technology standpoint, we're upgrading to a higher level of service with our Google Ed. It's called Google Education Plus, so that'll give us some additional security and analytics, but also will provide additional teaching and learning tools to our staff. We're also working with our student information system, Sapphire, to deploy student single sign-on and help our students with regards to their access to the student portal that many of our students utilize on a daily basis. From a safety perspective, Littlestown was awarded $135,553 via the PCCD grant, 2-year grant, eligible to apply for physical security enhancements, behavioral health improvements, or both. So we have, till the end of this month, it's an admin team to decide how that funding will be utilized here in Littlestown. As you know, the past PCCD grant was utilized to support the second safety officer, as well as cameras on the buses, some other additional items, for example, radios, radio repeater, and then the mental health side of that, Carolyn, I believe it was a number of positions. This one is combined into one, whereas the last round it was a mental behavioral grant separate and a physical security grant that was separate. Along the same lines of safety, on October 1, I'll be participating in professional development at the York County Emergency Services Center, understanding and planning for school bombing incidents. Professional development for first responders providing necessary skills to plan and respond to school-bound threats. From a cyber school perspective, we currently have 36 students enrolled in our Thunderbolt Cyber Academy. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me where we're at with the in-house security person? Safety audit?
We got an agenda item for discussion later on.
We're in good shape.
Thank you.
Yeah, they poached.
Is the cyber school number, is that
It's
fairly
a-
average,
it's
up,
a-
down?
It's a little down compared to last year, but we had a larger group of upperclassmen last year, seniors to graduate. It's just kind of a bubble with regards to that senior class. But it's currently around the same underclassmen, and it was just a bubble there with our senior students.
Anybody else? Please try for Carrie's benefit and listening audience, try to remember to say anything you guys question, but since we're discussing, I don't think it makes this difference where the question comes from. So, okay, if you have nothing else for Dr. Jones, then thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm next. I've got just a few things. First of all, curriculum report, as far as curriculum assessments go, we have iReady in elementary and middle school. It's been deployed to be used to select a baseline for our students in both ELA and math. Those are up and running. Middle school had a little bit of a tweak, but tech came through, helped us out on the very first day and got everything together for our students. So we are currently getting a baseline assessment of our students. In October, we're going to take that information, have iReady come in for training so that our teachers and staff can take a look at that data and fully understand what we need to be able to do to help deploy instruction to help those students that are a little bit low and provide enhancements for those students that are a little bit above where they should be. That's just one part, and that's ACEs and MANs. The second part, high school has gotten everything prepared for CDTs. Again, I'll throw a shout out to Tech for helping with getting that together. They were very crucial in making sure that all of our students were enrolled in the process. So they are ready to deploy the classroom diagnostic tool so that they can figure out and determine where our students are. Very excited for that to take place. That's only one part of helping students be successful. The second part began on day one when our teachers met, started talking and building relationships with our students, because that is really what helps our students be successful. Now, the second thing, I did not know that Mrs. Griffin was going to speak about this. I have rooms, as I identified as one of the things that I want to be able to share. We do have a rooms subset of our Littlestown app that has been utilized this year for all parents in the district. And what it does basically is it enhances the app that our parents already have, and it takes away, it takes the place of Dojo, it takes the place of Remind, and a number of different apps, so parents don't have to go from one app for this student that's in the high school to this app that's for the students in the elementary school to that app for the students in the middle school. It brings everything into one place for our parents. And the trainings have been fantastic for our teachers and our administrators. It brings everything all into one area. ACES is deployed. The high school is next, and by the end of September, the whole district will be utilizing rooms as a communication tool to make sure that we keep everything together in one app for our parents and our community. Very easy to use. Parents need to sign up one time for it, and they stay with it for life. The last thing I'd like to share is that, and I'm very excited about this, on Wednesday, August 28th, Littlestown officially began a district-exclusive master's degree program for our teachers. One of the things that we want to do is we have new teachers that come into the district each year. When we get them here, we want to make sure that they are steeped in our Littlestown ways, in our resources, and know what's coming up. So the partnership that I was able to work with Wilson College provides us to select our teachers, our teacher leaders, as instructors for courses through Wilson. We follow the curriculum that Wilson has. Our teachers in our district enroll in the program so that our teacher leaders teach, our new teachers come in, We utilize Littlestown resources, ViewSonics, TVs, Apple MacBooks, iPads, all of the resources that we have here, so that all of our teachers learn the Thunderbolt way. What happens then is that our teachers not only learn from those staff members that we have, but within 3 years they have a master's degree and they are here with us. It's all on campus. The first class took place on August 28th in 208 at the high school. Mr. Gantz is the instructor. The next 2 courses, I have a couple of teacher leaders and administrators who are interested in teaching the next course. There will be 2 more, one in the spring and one summer 1 that our teachers will be involved in. And I have 2 teachers already that are not enrolled in it, but are anxious to get started in the spring. That ends my report.
Now, you say exclusive, but if we had
Yeah, it says
somebody
that they'll
from
get a
Gettysburg
master's
who
degree.
participate, would they be allowed?
We would absolutely talk to them and engage that conversation.
Financially lucrative to it, that we would be getting money?
I don't know that we would gain any money or anything for that, but
Look at alternative sources.
I will say this, during the process, Dr. Eric Michael from Wilson College has been absolutely fantastic to work with, to be able to provide this opportunity for Littlestown staff. And I will give a shout out to Gettysburg. Dr. Matzner at Gettysburg has been a very good ear to be able to talk with and speak with, because he is looking at doing something similar for Gettysburg. They just didn't have the resources or the people interested in it right now.
Cool. I appreciate it. Anyone else have any questions? Yes, sir.
A gentleman approached me, said that his grandson is in middle school, and the teacher's talking to him about changing their sex. What's going on here?
Good question.
I have no idea, but I will certainly, if you talk with me afterwards, I can talk to our middle school administration and figure that out.
I said what I said.
Okay.
Say no more.
I'll follow up on that.
Anybody else, anything else?
Well, I will just thank Dr. Mitchell for your last report as the assistant superintendent to the board, and look forward to, from now on, you will be at our regular meetings doing your reporting. Looking forward to having Dr. Berryman have your first report next month. So, again, all exciting transition stuff that our district is moving forward and moving in the right direction.
Thank you. And Dr. Berryman actually has something to share with the board. We did talk about this a little bit beforehand.
Just as a reminder, next Monday night before the board meeting, we're having a light dinner and social with all the new teachers in the ACES library. So if you're able to join us, we'd love to have you.
Did everybody hear that and understand that? ACES Library, light dinner before, if you can attend.
5:30.
5:30. While I'm on that, since we paused for next meeting only, it is a reminder that next meeting is Jersey night. Your favorite fall Jersey sports team, please. We would also like the audience, if they would like to participate, we would also encourage that. Just one town, one team, one sport, one unity, any way we get it. I'll take wins any way I can get it. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. Thank you, Dr. Berryman. On to the big stuff. All right, I'm assuming nobody has any problems with call to order, roll call, pledge of allegiance, board acknowledgements. Students of the month, we carried. We still don't have.
We do, student reps.
We have for both of them. Okay, so we will have two reps. Okay. Down to that. Nobody, does anybody have any problems with any of the meeting notes? Does somebody usually follows a period missing a comma, semicolon, whatever?
Well, there's only one. You're doing pretty good. You know, I didn't really dig deep on it because there's only one. Good job.
Did you tell her what your problem was?
No, no problem.
Oh, no problem, okay.
No, I think.
All right. David, you're up. Anything in your section or want to talk about? Well,
Yeah,
obviously
anybody
talk
have
about.
any questions?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about, I guess I'll go mine, right? Just, I'll go.
Okay.
Does anybody have a problem with A? Let's do it, just.
Yeah, I wanted to know why there was no agreements listed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's all right.
I have a direct placeholder because last month we changed the wording on it, but as of right now, we have nothing to add, so it'll probably.
Oh, okay, thanks.
So A will become 0, B will become A. And so on and so on.
Does the public get to see this stuff?
All right, so let's talk about the
click on it.
stipend for the board secretary.
Click on that.
If you notice,
I'm
it
sorry.
says 4 X's there. Does anybody wanted to start the discussion, end the discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Schovaker, for the information. I appreciate it. Really casts a light on how the schools do it and some of the weirdness.
Yes. The numbers are.
Yes, the range of numbers is
They're
just
from the exceedingly low to the
Yeah.
exceedingly high.
Yeah.
The average is for the public, just in case if they don't have access.
Yeah.
$4,460. The previous stipend prior to our current board secretary getting position is $5,000. The duties are all about the same, are they not?
Haven't changed, yeah.
I mean the duties from other school districts.
They're all pretty much exactly the same.
Okay. So at this time, does anybody have any discussion where they would like to land the stipend? We'll go from there. Anybody?
I know there was discussion at the, finance meeting last week. I don't know if anyone's had any thoughts.
I mean, frankly, it's, and I'll be honest, I'm make it perfectly clear, it was made perfectly clear at the finance meeting. The board secretary did not ask for this, did not call for this, did not in any way, shape, or form have any hands in this particular report. I'll be honest, I feel very uncomfortable with the person sitting in the room, but this is the uncomfortableness that you have to deal with. So with that said, I'm great with the average. Because, again, words that came out of our mouth were, in 2051 when I retire. Well, if we can keep someone of this quality for 2051 and increase by a few dollars, longevity goes a long way because it seems that they'll be able to know their business over and over again and do it with their eyes shut. And you can only get better from where they are. So I hope she stays for 2051 as well as the person sitting next to her. I'm talking about Carolyn Thomas. But I think average, and with some room to grow, because it gets the ability to get revisited every 4 years, and I think that's a fair assessment. I think somehow the ball sort of got dropped when situations occurred, and this is the one thing when you have people that have been here, so and you can move people up, balls don't get dropped as bad. In this case, I think the ball got dropped big time.
Where's the additional money coming from?
Out of the budget.
Out of the budget, we'll budget it.
Actually, if you look at the stipend, it's actually less. What Carl just said, it's actually less than what we paid last year. So it's a decrease.
Just to clarify, is this yearly? This is yearly addition?
This is a yearly stipend.